I made
Okay.
horrible choices, and the women I chose to have kids with, I can't see the kids. I've been fighting for each one of them since they've been babies,
Okay.
and the kids believe I've never wanted to be there. I've been fighting for the longest. I'm going back and forth with my older daughter right now, who says that I never tried to be there, and I try to show her all the pictures. I'm trying to show her receipts, and she says I'm a psycho. You're a psycho. You're a weirdo. You're foul. And I asked her, why don't you go say something to your mom?
Hey, remember this dude?
I made
Okay.
horrible choices, and the women I chose to have kids with, I can't see the kids. I've been fighting for each one of them since they've been babies,
Okay.
and the kids believe I've never wanted to be there. I've been fighting for the longest. I'm going back and forth with my older daughter right now, who says that I never tried to be there, and I try to show her all the pictures. I'm trying to show her receipts, and she says I'm a psycho. You're a psycho. You're a weirdo. You're foul. And I asked her, why don't you go say something to your mom? My mom didn't do this.
How old
Why
is
do
your
you have my
daughter?
mom? My daughter's 7.
Who can forget that guy, right? But I came across a video today. The next day, I just made a video about him the other day, and then or yesterday, and I see this video that I'm about to show you guys right now. And yesterday, I was saying that it's obvious, A, that he's not fighting for his daughter because all you got to do is go to court to fight for your daughter. But B, if 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 the mother of your child despises you to this, to that extent where they make it difficult for you to see your child in any way, shape, or form, I'm almost 1,000% sure that you abused the hell out of that woman. You did. And here's confirmation of that. Like, this is wild.
I was married at one point. I had a child out of wedlock on purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose.
Okay. When you said I had a child out of wedlock on purpose, was
On
that during
purpose.
your marriage with
During the
somebody
marriage.
else?
During the marriage.
So you had
I
an affair, and as a result, you had a child.
I had a child with my receptionist,
Okay.
and my ex-wife.
And why do you, what do you mean by on purpose? Let's circle back to
Well,
that.
my ex-wife, because I wanted us. We had one child, which we have together, and I just want us to have one more kid. I'm like, let's have one more kid, and I would have been cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
And my ex-wife said this. She said, "Only a stupid bitch will have another kid with you." And I said,
Okay.
"What?" She said it again. "Only a stupid bitch will have another kid with you." And I said, "Well, you know what? I guess I need to find a stupid bitch then."
And so did you?
I found one.
Okay.
And I wanted that to stick in her face. But here's the
All right,
immaturity of
but
me.
see, yeah.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is where I'm going at with the mindset, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm
What? How? No shade to the woman talking to him, but how could you like? It's for the program. I do it all the time. Don't get me wrong. You gotta keep your feelings and emotions in check when you having these exchanges with people sometimes, because sometimes people say the wildest shit, and you just kind of gotta roll with it because you could shut the whole conversation down if you flip on them. You know what I'm saying? But I would have it would have went sideways for me. I'd have been like, what? Because, sir, I'll wait. Never mind.
trying to get back at her. I wasn't mature enough
Yeah.
to see where she probably was hurt at, what was going on. I just wanted her to feel how I felt. Now I have a child in the middle of this. This is the immaturity in me.
Yeah.
And I brought this other girl in the middle of it, which she didn't care at the time,
Right.
but I put her in the middle of it.
Right.
She wanted to be in the middle because I guess she thought I was going to leave my ex-wife too for her. But she cleaned up with Windex, so I wasn't going to,
You're so
go.
crazy.
But I'm making a joke. I'm trying to. So I was immature at the time when I made this decision.
And this is the whole thing. I mean, now we're talking about spitefulness.
Yes.
And as a result of your spite, I'm going to make a baby. And there's no
Yes.
mindset or anything in your mind that's telling you, how is that outcome going to be for this child? It was so selfish,
Very selfish.
right?
Very
but
selfish.
Where does that come from? Because it's like, okay, let me go have an affair with the receptionist. Let me start a new relationship with, but why a baby? Why a child? And I'm not, I want to make this clear. I'm not condemning because I really appreciate the transparency and the openness. I'm just wanting to know for where that comes from.
My mom delivered she spit a lot of venom from her mouth
Okay.
towards my dad.
Okay.
When my dad come around, my dad could be sitting in there watching TV and my mom come in there and go in on him. And he possibly couldn't did nothing today. I mean, my dad has his shortcomings, don't get me wrong. But I never seen how a woman's supposed to treat a man.
And how did that
in a
make you
positive.
feel?
Well,
I'm sorry. This is not triggering, but I've heard this. I've heard, I know a man personally, but I just heard men say this before about their mothers and how their mothers treated their fathers so poorly. And I'm not saying that that's not possible. Anybody, I mean, anybody's capable of treating anybody poorly, right? But being married for as long as I have, and being in a relationship for as long as I've been, and a relationship before that, I've been in a relationship. Let me see, I'm 42. Uh, so 5 and 17. I've been in a relationship for 22 years of my adult life. I've had roughly, I've had less than 2 years single. I don't even think I've had 2 years single in my adult life. I don't know if my math is off, but that doesn't sound right. Yeah. I haven't been 2 years single my whole adult life. So I know I've had a ton of time with, with a woman or whatever the case may be. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because I I have never seen a woman be disrespectful to me or treat me any type of way, but because of her, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how else to put it, but like it was like every single time that a woman treated me a certain type of way, for the most part, it was a reaction to something that I did. Right? Are women perfect? Nope. Like I said, I leave room for women. There's these group of women that's out here and they just disrespect their men, because I know a bunch of men who are just disrespectful to women. You see what I'm saying? Like, so don't get me wrong. I know that it's humanly possible. I want to be clear. But when you think about the social engineering of men and women, what he is describing, at best, it would be an anomaly. At worst, it's an outright fucking lie. Right? Because you're 99, it doesn't benefit women to treat men like that. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing I think men don't understand when they tell these lies, is that for those of us that's clocking this shit, we know that it doesn't benefit women to abuse men. It doesn't benefit women to be mean to men. It doesn't benefit them. Aside from the fact that they're just not engineered to be like these types of people, it just doesn't benefit them in our system, within the confines of our society. It doesn't benefit women to be like that, but it benefits men to be like that. That's why you see so many men like that. You see what I'm saying? So I just find it really, really, really hard to believe that there's all these women out here that's just disrespectful to men for the sake of being disrespectful to a man. And he's, oh, my dad had a shortcoming, sir. You don't know what the fuck your daddy did, because your mama was hiding it from you. And your daddy would never tell you he was a piece of shit. So where would you go and hear it from? Another crazy thing about this is you can't even blame this on the mom. I'm tired of y'all blaming everything on mommy wounds, right? And here's the reason why. Because men often will blame their mom for how they act as an adult, right? Which, whole other discussion for a whole other day. And they'll say, like, he'll say, oh, I saw my mom treat my dad this way, that way, yada, yada, yada. I never saw da, 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 da. As if, like I said, another discussion for another day. But sir, go see that woman. Go see that lady. You know what I'm saying? But when they see their fathers treat women a certain type of way, they replicate what the man did, what their father did to the woman. You see what I'm saying? So either way, the women in these men's lives are going to get punished for the way that, whatever happened to them in their youth. And the thing that I want to connect is, it's not about, y'all could act like it's the mommy wound, it's not, it's the misogyny. It's the misogyny. The misogyny is in our epigenetics now as men. So anything can awaken it. It's so right there on the surface, just bubbling, but it's right there. Couple that with the social conditioning. Oh my God. We're a tinderbox. So it does. If the mommy, steps out of line, then that's what we see. Then we go, oh shit, I gotta abuse these women from moving forward because my mama abused my daddy, which is a weird, like, that's the way you respond to that. Why isn't y'all response ever to avoid women? You ever thought about that? Like, you saw your own mother in your mind allegedly abuse your father, treat your father very poorly, and you still are like, yep, let me sign up to be with as many women as I possibly can because F these like, it doesn't make sense. Y'all just try to find something to blame. Like, it's a really fine line, y'all. Y'all gotta understand. I'm really trying not to be insensitive. I really am. Trust me, as a man with mommy wounds, right? As a man with daddy wounds, bigger daddy wounds than mommy wounds, but as a man with mommy wounds, yeah, I see how it affects you, yada, yada, yada. But it doesn't, like, you can't tell me that it's not the misogyny that is the actual issue. That's all I'm saying. So he could try to blame his mom. Okay, your mom was a terrible person to your dad. Okay. Let's say that that's true. But why is y'all reaction always moving forward to abuse as many women as you possibly can? That's all I'm saying.
Later on, it started being directed towards me as well. Same similarity. So I chose women in those categories.
Okay.
But not just my mom, because my mom will come back and apologize, try to make it right. But I see my aunties.
Child out of wedlock on purpose. Was that
He just got excuses. His mom tried to make it right, and his mom, okay. So it sounds like she was a parent, and we're not perfect. And not making an excuse once again, because I don't want to downplay his abuse. If he was abused, he was abused, right? He was a child when that happened. I ain't gonna hold him on that one. He started off with his daddy, though. That's what I was touching on. I want to talk about that. But let's get through this one more time.
I was married at one point. I had a child out of wedlock on purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose.
Okay.
He's proud of this, by the way, you guys. If you listen to him, he's a sociopath. But if to me, very sorry, I'm not going to diagnose him. I don't know what he is. This sounds sociopathic. He has no remorse, no compunction whatsoever, right? And if you listen, he sounds very much. The reason why I brought up a sociopath, maybe even a psychopath, is because he sounds like a serial killer. Like when they talk about their crimes, right? And they're just so cold and callous. And all, and he cracks a joke. The smirk, the smugness. I'm gonna go find me. Listen.
When you said I had a child out of wedlock on purpose, was that during your marriage with somebody else?
During the marriage.
So you had an affair, and as a result, you had a child.
I had a child with my receptionist. And my ex-wife.
And why what do you mean by on purpose? Let's circle back to that.
Well, my ex-wife, because we had one child, which we have together. And I just want us to have one more kid. I'm like, let's have one more kid. And I would have been cool with that. Mm-hmm. And my ex-wife said this. She said, only a stupid bitch will have another kid with you.
And why would your ex-wife say that? She didn't want to have another child with you. You see how he skips over like the most important parts? Okay, can we talk about that? Why would your ex-wife feel so strongly about not having another child with you? Is it because you were already abusing her? Is it because you already had revealed to her your true colors? See, sounds like it. And it sounds like she didn't want to get trapped. She didn't want to go through that again with you. No, absolutely not. Also, this is a deadbeat father. This dude's a deadbeat father. Why are men so obsessed with having kids that they don't want to take care of? It blows my mind. It blows my mind. I personally was not obsessed with having kids. At one point in time, I thought that I was never going to have kids. I truly did. And I was okay with that idea. Not to say I didn't want to have kids. I'm just saying, like, I was like, if I do, great. If I don't, great. Like, you know what I mean? Either way, I'm gonna be good. You know what I mean? So I don't, this is a personal thing for me. I don't understand being obsessed with having a child. I don't. But I really don't understand being obsessed with having a child just so you can hate their mother and then cheat on her, abuse her, and then get another woman pregnant just to abuse that woman and abandon her and her. Like, and her and the child again out of spite. And he alludes to what it really was. It was his ego. He only wanted to have a child for his ego. I just got done talking to some dude yesterday. A lot of men are obsessed with having kids because, like we know, a lot of men, most men don't understand the difference between lineage and legacy. They don't understand the difference. They think the only way for you to have a legacy is to have a lineage. I told the man yesterday, you can have a legacy without a lineage. And if you have a lineage, you still have to establish a legacy. If you want to be known for years and years to come, you have to make your mark. Because I don't talk about my great granddaddy or my great grandmother. I don't know shit about either one of them. My grandmama never talked about them. Like I only had one grandparent, you know. Well, one that I talked to. My grandfather was alive, but I don't talk to him. But yeah, my grandmother never talked about her parents. I don't know nothing about them. Probably not that good of people. My kids, my son, my father-in-law passed away when my son was really young. He's still like a week ago actually to today. We were at this restaurant that we went to My Pizza. Shout out to My Pizza. We went to My Pizza and my son just randomly was like, "Oh man." He was like, "Dad, I just thought about something." I was like, "What?" He was like, "I remember when granddad came and then we ate pizza over right there in that corner." And I was like, "Yeah." Like he's still, you know what I mean? Like because he still thinks of my father-in-law because my father-in-law was such a great man, you know? And my wife talks about him in that way too. So even, you know, that those memories are going to fade from my son, right? More than likely. But the memory of my father-in-law won't fade because of the way that we talk about him, the way that we're always talking about how great he was and how awesome he was and so on and so forth. So my son is always he's going to talk about him like that too. You know what I mean? That's a legacy. My father-in-law has established a legacy. And also, that's not just us, though. Many people talk about my father-in-law like that to this day, right? He established a great legacy. He did great things. He made an impact in his community, a huge impact for years, decades, right? That's a legacy. You don't need a kid for that, though, because without his children, his impact would have been felt, right? It's just he just was the type of person that he would he was just a legacy establisher, right? That's what I'm gonna call him. He was a legacy establisher type of person. So when he had kids, it was like, duh, I'm gonna establish, you know what I mean? Like he just kept it going. And now he has a legacy. Now we're gonna talk about him forever. I'm gonna talk about him forever and all the great things he did for me personally and all the stuff that I learned from him and I observed from him and all the stuff that he taught my wife that she's teaching me and she's teaching my sons. Like that's how you establish a legacy, man, not by impregnating a bunch of women.
And I said,
Okay.
what? She said it again. Only a stupid bitch will have another kid with you. And I said, well, you know what? I guess I need to find a stupid bitch then.
And so did
So he's calling his baby mama, not his ex-wife, his baby mama, a stupid bitch. Why are y'all reactions never to just leave women alone? Like, what? Leave them alone. Just stay away.
you?
I found one.
Okay.
And I wanted that to stick in her face. But here's the
All right,
immaturity of
but
me.
see, yeah.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is where I'm going in with the mindset, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get back at her. I wasn't mature enough
Yeah.
to see where she probably was hurt at, what was going on. I just wanted her to feel how I felt.
Which was, how did you feel? Were you abused by it with this woman? You weren't. This is where men get on my fucking nerves with that. Women's words cut deep. Sir, you were abusing your ex-wife. I'm 100% sure. I'm 100%. I don't know for sure, but I'm I shouldn't say I'm 100% sure. I'm confident that he was abusing his ex-wife. Well, he cheated on her, so he was abusing her, right? But when men be talking about how women's words be cutting, I'm like, so you abusing her is equivalent to her saying, I don't want to have a baby with you because you're abusing me. And you knew that was the reason she didn't want to have a baby with you. So you didn't take any accountability for your actions. You just was like, oh, this stupid B word, I gotta show her. Because you hated that woman the whole time. Trying to blame her for your hate is diabolical. Wicked work.
Now I have a child in the middle of this. This is the immaturity in me.
Yeah.
And I brought this other girl in the middle of it, which she didn't care at the time,
Right.
but I put her in the middle of it.
She didn't care.
Right.
She would want.
You was lying to that woman. Stop it. Look, oh, he gonna say it right now. I'm sorry. He gonna say it right now.
Immaturity in me.
Yeah.
And I brought this other girl in the middle of it, which she didn't care at the time,
Right.
but I put her in the middle of it.
Right.
She would want to be in the middle because I guess she thought I was going to leave my ex-wife too for her. But
See? This is what I be talking about. That woman, that you lied to that woman. You told her you were going to leave. You told her you were going to leave your ex-wife for her. So she believed you.
she cleaned up with Windex, so I wasn't going to,
You're so
go.
crazy.
But I'm making a joke. I'm trying to. So I was immature at the time when I made this decision.
And this is the whole thing. I mean, now we're talking about spitefulness.
Yes.
And as a result of your spite, I'm going to make a baby. And there's no
Yes.
mindset or anything in your mind that's telling you, how is that outcome going to be for this child?
He don't care about that child, and he don't care for the mother of that child, and he didn't care about his ex-wife. He only cares about himself. He only cares about hurting women. That's it. That's all. Case solved. It ain't that deep. Like I said before, I'll say it again. Misogyny is at the core of 99.9% of dysfunctional relationships. Period, point blank. He's no exception.